Hello. We're living through some extraordinary times right now, and I know that every member of the university community has been working hard to adjust to our new realities. And that includes living with social distancing. Today on Culture Chat, I'm chatting with philosopher and Deputy Vice-Chancellor Duncan Ivison about what social distancing is going to mean and how we can cope with social distancing. Duncan, thanks for joining us.
It's great to be here.
Most of us have no living memory of social distancing measures like having small group gatherings or staying at home in self-isolation. How do you think we're going to cope with social distancing?
Look, it's going to be a big challenge. Australians are a gregarious people, and we haven't had something like this since the war. So we're really going to have to think carefully about how we're going to handle it and manage it.
And how do you think about social distancing as a philosopher? What's the philosophical perspective on social distancing?
Well, look, the first thing that comes to my mind are the Stoics. And the Stoics were ancient philosophers whose whole way of thinking about the world was to get distance from our emotions, not to get caught up too much in the turbulence of everyday life. A quote from Marcus Aurelius popped into my head the other day, do not be overwhelmed by what you imagine, focus on what you can do and what you ought to do. I think that's our bumper sticker probably for the next few months.
Are there some positives around social distancing that we should think about as well?
I think it's physical distancing, which doesn't necessarily mean entirely social distancing. We can reconnect with ourselves, giving us time to reflect and think in ways we haven't before, reconnect with our loved ones, and reconnect with our creativity and give us time to think and think about things we haven't had time to think about before.
Speaking of being alone or being in the comforts of our home, a lot of us are going to be tuning into Netflix or Stan more intensely. What have you got on your watch list?
So I must be the only philosopher who hasn't seen The Good Place yet in all of its episodes. So I'm looking forward to a lot of episodes of The Good Place. What about you, Tim?
Good Place is a good one to start with. I've got lots of books to get through myself, so I'm looking forward to some reading time. So, some philosophical wisdom there from Duncan. So important that we have a stoical attitude to social distancing, and also remember that it is an opportunity for us to reconnect with ourselves, our thinking, our family, and indeed our favourite TV shows.